Hi, I'm Hannah Brown, Head of Content at e-Residency, and this is the second video in our Conversations with e-Residents series, but the first that we recorded live in person. Last week, I had the opportunity to host e-Residents Soumya Kanti Datta at our office in Tallinn. Soumya is the founder and CEO of Digiotouch OÜ, a deep tech startup offering cloud and cybersecurity solutions. In our conversation, we chatted about Soumya's entrepreneurial background, how he's building a next-generation cloud-based edtech platform called Digiotouch Academy. And of course, we covered how e-Residency has been a great remote business solution for Soumya and Digiotouch. So please watch and enjoy. Hi there, and welcome to Conversations with e-Residents. And today we have a very special guest, e-Resident Soumya.
Yeah.
Thanks for being here.
Thanks, Hannah, and it's lovely to be here. Thanks for having me.
Fantastic. So I think let's get started by going back to the beginning. How did you become the entrepreneur and the founder that you are today?
Yes, absolutely. It's an amazing story I'd like to share with everyone.
Please do.
Yeah. But before I do, I have to remind to 2007, I think that's when it all started. And since then, I have been fortunate to meet a lot of people who have actually taken me towards the direction of entrepreneurship. So back in 2007, I was doing my engineering in India, and I remember three very inspiring souls. I met them during this bachelor in engineering time. So two of my college seniors, Priyanshu Ghosh and Anand Datta, said they gave me the very first lesson, which I think very important in an entrepreneur's life, how to approach technical problems and how to solve them. So they were very generous in teaching me the integrity aspects of all that with many, many different technical problems. So I developed the first confidence back then. Then in addition to that, I had a professor, Professor Shukla Sharnal. I think she had a bit of a bigger role and bigger influence in me, how I developed as a teenager back then, because she was teaching me the art of communication. So not only communicate with people who are subject matter experts, but also, who are not experts, but a user of technology. So that was also very important, like how I communicate now, the solutions that I'm creating to generic audience over the year. So after my bachelor's, I moved to France in September 2010 to pursue my master's in computer security. And even though I was a student in Telecom Paris, the courses were given in Eurocom, which is in south of France. And it's during this course, I actually developed a taste for cybersecurity from Professor Marc Dessier's courses. Then I had Professor Christian Bonnet, another professor in Eurocom. So he basically gave me the freedom of pursuing all crazy novel ideas in my own way. And finally, I would also like to mention Professor Ken Pope. He had a course on business simulation, and we were students in that course. And basically, that one actually gave me the confidence that I could run a company on my own someday. Then in 2012, I graduated with my master's degree. Then around that time, Android and iPhones were becoming very, very popular consumer devices. And I was naturally very drawn towards Android because of its open ecosystem. During my spare time, actually, I was developing very basic Android applications around that time. And I decided, okay, let me go and publish it in the Google Play Store. And actually, I managed to, earn quite some revenue from Google because I was showing Google ads in the apps. So to some extent, that was my first entrepreneurial venture. But somehow I wasn't able to sustain it all by myself back in 2012. So my second attempt was around summer 2015. And this time I founded a company in India with my wife and my father. It's called Future Tech Lab. We developed edtech solutions customized for the Indian market, and we offered it overseas as well. It was well received. We had initial success, but also, I would say that Tata Steel, so they were one of our customers, a very huge company in India as well as outside India. But in this particular case, at that time, I was still based in France. So the remote operation was sort of like taking a toll, huge toll on me. So after 2.5 years of operation, against all my feelings that, okay, I should continue, but we couldn't continue because this remote operation, and it was not as very well planned and managed like we have in 2022, 2023. But even after these 2 attempts, I never gave up on that journey towards entrepreneurship. And I think around the beginning of 2018, so I sat down and I started pondering like how I can create a sustainable business, which I can operate. Then 2 things were clear in my mind around that time. So it needs to be based in Europe, because I used to travel quite a lot within Europe as well as North America. So I got a good understanding how the market, how the ecosystem works. And it needs to be remotely operable. Back at that time, and even now, so I travel quite a lot for customer meetings, solution delivery, project meetings. So remotely operating something is very important. So location independence was one of the key that I was after. Then I think around summer 2018, I decided to make the 3rd attempt. So I created Digiotouch at that time. And I'm very happy that we're still operating after 4.5 years. And I have generated, I mean, I have done fundraising of about 2.4 million at the moment. And I have had customers from Hungary, Portugal, and Serbia. And I'm very excited about an edtech platform called Digiotouch Academy, which we would be commercializing from February 2023.
Well, let's come back to that in a moment. But first, I think that Digiotouch you established in Estonia as an e-resident.
Yes.
So I'd really like to hear that sort of aspect of starting your business. You mentioned that you needed somewhere remote and location independent because you travel a lot. So how have you found e-residency and Estonia for your business?
Absolutely, absolutely. I cannot begin to thank you for e-residency, really. Just like my mentors and the professors in Eurocom, I think e-residency has been one of the tremendous help and one of the cornerstones behind the journey of Digiotouch, as well as myself as an entrepreneur. And around March 2018, that's the time when I did a lot of search to see how I can run a location-independent business. And I landed on the webpage of e-residence back then. And I still remember, I was like really fascinated with the concept. I can run an Estonian company from anywhere in the world. And to me, that was like the perfect solution. So I think around May 2018, that's when I was applying for the e-residency card. And I was approved within two weeks. That was amazing. So I was then traveling to Paris to pick it up from the consulate of Estonia in Paris. With that, I opened the company in June 2018. And
did it take very long?
No, 2 weeks.
2 weeks for the company, or
no, for me to
from getting your e-resident card to
yeah.
Okay, great.
I think when I contacted one office, they registered the company in a day. Yeah,
very quick.
Very quick. Yes.
And you've been to Estonia, I think, a few times since you started the company as well.
Yes, absolutely. I have been. So before the pandemic, I came here, I think, first time in May 2019 for Latitude 59. I remember there was sessions organized by e-Residency into the conference, and it was like a great feeling for me, because at that time there were a lot of fellow e-residents. I was able to meet them. I was able to talk to other founders. The journey was so very inspiring for many of them. Then the vibe was really excellent. So we had some pre as well as post Latitude parties.
Yes,
that was always
they're famous, the parties.
Exactly. Yeah. Really good. And I still continue to use the e-residency card, for all the admin aspects, signing contracts, and it basically works just like a charm. So in my mind, I have like Johanna as well as the Melissa, Ulan, the entire e-residency team to thank for that.
Yeah, our pleasure. And just a note on some of the things that Soumya mentioned. Latitude 59 is one of the big business conferences here in Tallinn, Estonia, where Estonian founders, international founders, and more e-residents every year come and showcase their companies. There's a pitching competition, which this year there is a record prize pool of 1 million. Yes. So if you're looking for funding, you might want to apply for that one and come to Tallinn in May.
Yes, and meet me as well.
Yeah, and then a few other things. If you want to get in touch with other e-residents, get onto the Facebook group e-Residents of Estonia, because you can ask lots of questions there from other e-residents. Our team members are in there, so we can provide resources, and also service providers as well from both our marketplace, the e-Residency marketplace, and beyond. So yeah, just a few good tips there from your answer. Yes. So let's go back to Digiotouch. So tell us about Digiotouch and what you're doing.
Absolutely, with pleasure. So Digiotouch, it's very specialized in developing and commercializing solutions around cloud and edge computing, for example, for European industries and beyond. So right now, I'm very excited about Digiotouch Academy. So it's a cloud and virtual reality-based upskilling as well as digital learning platform. We have been developing it for quite some time, and this is something we are going to offer from February 2023 in a few weeks. But aside that, we also develop a lot of cybersecurity and data privacy solutions, because it's coming from my own background of doing cybersecurity in my master's. So I help a lot of companies, especially the small ones as well as individuals, on how to create secure solutions, secure their footprint across internet and all that.
You've referred to cybersecurity a few times, so maybe you can speak a little bit more about how you're helping these companies in Europe boost their security and data privacy.
Absolutely, absolutely. And before I talk about that, so I'd like to give you some context and perspectives, like why it is important for companies as well as individuals. So if you just consider last year, 2022, there has been more than 4,000 known and publicly known data breaches.
So it's like over 10 a day.
Over 10 a day, yes.
Yeah.
And as a result of that, more than 2 billion records have been exposed to the internet. And a large chunk of it is now actually being sold in the dark web, which should not be the case, but it's the case. And around 40% of those organizations, they have stated that it actually costed them more than $1 million each in revenue. So imagine like how many hundreds of millions of US dollars have been just wasted as a part of that. Then that's just companies. Now, if I come to individuals like us, the identity theft is a new thing that has been emerging right now. And
there's so many scams at the moment.
Absolutely. So many scams. And Revolut is one of the companies where a lot of their customers actually fallen victim to similar scams. Not only identity theft, but many things, including
fraud and these kinds of things. Yeah.
Exactly. So that's where Digiotouch comes in. So we actually help individuals as well as these companies on securing the infrastructure for the companies. Then for individuals, how we can protect the digital footprint that we leave across internet, so that we are not falling victims to such like either corporate data breaches or identity theft. Yeah.
Fantastic. And if there's anyone listening, watching the video today who's interested in hearing more, how can they contact Digiotouch or find out more about the company and your services?
Yes, I think the best way to reach us is through the website, digiotouch.com. And we have, the company is run by millennials like me. So we are very active across social media, personally as well as from the company. So I think
I'll share all these links to the websites, to the social media channels, and I think you also have some personal website and social media channels as well. So I'll link them in the description of this video so that you can find your way to Soumya and Digiotouch.
Absolutely. And we are actually creating a lot of courses on how you can secure your digital footprint so that you do not fall victim for identity theft, or for companies how to protect your infrastructure from cyber threats, cyber attacks. So you can find them in the Digiotouch Academy website, which is going public in a few weeks from now.
So you've mentioned the Academy and the videos. What else are you hoping that this year, this new year, 2023 brings?
Oh, that's this year, I think what we are going to do mainly is to stabilize our operations around the Academy. so as to have more number of creators as well as consumers like individuals or companies, they can benefit from the courses. So we are going to scale up the number of users as well. And in parallel to that, I'm quite excited to announce that we are looking forward to hire a couple of software developers as well as business developers to grow our team in Estonia. And in addition to that, we are also going to start fundraising for Series A for our product, so we can sustain the technical operation as well as the business and operation scale up.
Good luck for that.
Yeah, thanks.
I'm sure it'll be a lot of work, but I'm sure it'll be a success.
Yeah.
And speaking of success, it's so nice to talk to an e-resident who has made really good, successful use of the program. And so I wonder whether you have some tips to share for other e-residents or potential e-residents who are looking at the program wondering whether it's for them.
Absolutely. For me, I think I would say that even if you have any doubts about the program, or if you have joined the e-Residency program, then you're looking for particular solutions, always reach out to the team, including Hannah. We have Melissa, Ulan, they're very active in the social media, and they're very resourceful, they're very generous, and they're very helpful. So I'm sure they're going to find the solution for you, or even put you in the direction where you will find the solution yourself.
Fantastic. So I think we've come to the end of our conversation. It's been really valuable, but I do have a few rapid fire questions if you're willing to take them on.
Absolutely.
Fantastic. So the first one, you've kind of mentioned this already, but let's see what you say when I ask you the question. Do you prefer using your e-Residency digital ID card or smart ID?
Digital ID.
Okay, so you like having the card.
Yes.
Second question is, who's your entrepreneurial or professional hero, and they can be living or dead?
Professor Christian Bonnet. So he was my boss in Eurocom until he retired.
Okay. You seem to have a lot of academic mentors that have taught you a lot about entrepreneurship. So I've heard that from other e-residents as well. So it's nice, that your journey has kind of gone through different paths like that.
Yeah, actually, my time in Eurocom actually have shaped a lot my thinking, especially the features, the product, cybersecurity thing that I even spearhead today in Digiotouch.
And now you're going to be your own professor at the academy as
yes,
well.
Yes. Passing knowledge to the next generation.
Yeah. Speaking of passing knowledge, do you have a podcast recommendation for the audience?
Yes. One thing I'm listening very regularly nowadays is David Silva's EUVC podcast on Spotify, but it's also available in Apple's iTunes.
This is one that I haven't listened to, so I'm looking forward to taking that one on.
Absolutely.
And as a location independent entrepreneur, as you've mentioned a few times, I always like to sort of get a feel for where e-residents like to work and their preferred setup for working.
Yes, Tallinn for sure, it's number one, and then Nice in south of France.
Oh, wonderful. So you have the beaches and the summer.
Absolutely.
And then the cold of Tallinn every now and then.
We need to balance both.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. And finally, to end on a happy note, I'd love for you to describe your connection to Estonia.
Sure. So nowadays, I have quite a few friends here, including you, Hannah, in Tallinn. And then company or professional-wise, I've been developing collaboration with Taltech, a very well-known university here, as well as Mindchip, another SME. So they're also on an amazing journey towards autonomous ships and boats. Aside that, I have been working very closely with Nord Estonia. It's a law firm as well as one office, so they handle our accounting and other things.
Yeah, one office is on the e-Residency marketplace. They're one of our bigger service providers for e-residents. That's really, really, really great. And to be honest, like Estonia and e-Residency are very lucky to have you. And thank you so much for taking the time to share your story and have this conversation. And looking forward to hearing feedback from everyone online. Absolutely. And I definitely say I have watched the program grow, and you guys are doing amazing, really. Thank you. That's kind of like, shining light on e-residents like us. Yeah, well, we have a lot of fun. Yes. And that's the most important thing in life, isn't it? So thank you very much for watching. Thank you.